for this problem, we're given two strings, s and x, and we need to find the first occurrence of x in s. So the example we're given is the given string s, a, b, c, d, b, a, and x, c, d, b, a. There's no c, d, b, and the output is 2. And that is because c, d, b occurs starting at index 2. How I'm thinking about solving this is to create an index tracker. So when we think we found it, we'll put the index where it starts in this integer, a pointer for s, a pointer for x, and we're going to loop through s to find x. So basically we're going to check if px is equal to ps, which it's not. So we'll move this, check again, still not the same. Okay, these are the same, and since px is equal to, is the 0th index, which means it's the start of x within s, maybe, then we're going to update our index to be 0, 1, 2. Okay, so now if we find the rest, if we get all the way to the end and we found it, then we know our index. Next we'll move, so since these are the same, we'll move both this and this. Px, check if they're the same. They are, so we'll keep moving. Since this was not the 0th index, we're not updating our index counter. B and G, not the same, so we are going to change our index back to -1. We're going to move this back to C, and hold on, actually, that doesn't come yet. We're going to, so this is at 0, 1, 2. We change the index. Now we're going to subtract, so this is px, ps minus px plus 1. So in this scenario, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 2 plus 1, which means we're going to be at the 3rd index. So we will be right here. And we don't want to just subtract px from ps, otherwise we'd end up at c and we'd end up in an infinite loop. Okay, now that ps is in the place where it's supposed to be, we move px back to the beginning, and now we start a comparison again. C and D are not the same. Move, not the same. Move. Oh wait, now it is the same, so we're going to change our index from -1 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now check, those are the same. Now we move over here. These are the same, and now we're at our end, and so since these are the same and we're at our end, we will return 5. I had written the method, so we're returning an integer. We're taking in string s and string x. I've initialized the index to -1. I have a boolean that's called found and initialized it to false for our while loop, so that we can end the while loop if we find x in s. Initialize the pointers s and x to 0, And then this is just if string x is larger than string s, then we're going to return -1 right away, because obviously x can't be in s if x is larger than s. Now we go into our while loop. So if the Boolean found is equal to false, we'll keep going, and the pointer in s is less than the length of s. That's just so if we go through the whole thing and we haven't found it, we will stop. We'll return -1, saying it hasn't been found, or can't be found. So in our loop, we're checking if x at the pointer is equal to s at the s pointer. If it is, we're going to check if the x pointer is at the beginning, because if it is, then we're going to want to update our index to the PS, which is the index of the pointer in S. Actually, I don't want this to be an else if, this will just be another if, because if our x is only one character long, then we can update to found. Okay. If p of x is at the end, so in our case of a, b, c, d, b, a, c, d, b, when our pointer is here, then we know we found it, because we can't get to that point unless we found it. And these two are the same. However, what I was just saying is if we just have, if x is just the character c, then in this scenario, we want to, it's both 0 and equal to the length -1. So we're going to want to update the index and say that it is found. So that's why I changed it from an else if to an if. Now, we're going to also increase, since they're the same, we're going to increase the pointer of x and the pointer of s to check if the next one is there. We're going to, if it's not equal, then we're going to go to this else if. So if the pointer of x is not equal to 0, meaning it's somewhere in the middle or towards the end, and we find the character is not equal, then we're going to want to, so this is the case of B, C, D, E, A, oh wait, no, G, C, D, B, and we're looking for C, D, B. So when we got to this G and this B and they're not the same, but this is not equal, this px is not equal to 0, then we're going to want to move this back to 1 plus where it was at that index, and we're going to want to set this equal to 0 and update our index again to -1 to signify haven't found it yet. If it is, if px is equal to 0 and they're not the same, then we're just going to increase the pointer of s. Once we've broken out of this while loop, so either the x is found in s or we've gone through every s character and haven't found it, we're going to return our index. And time for this is going to be n, because we're looping through s and there's no extra state.